Welcome back. This time we're talking about 12 Strong, based on the Hiranto classified story of 12 Green Beret soldiers sent into the wilds of Afghanistan in the days after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. They were sent in to deliver a first strike against the Taliban, which were harboring Osama bin Laden. The film is based on a nonfiction book by Doug Stanton, who recounted the tales of these soldiers once their mission was declassified. The film, which is produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, is a surprisingly well-made and compelling war film. The action sequences are really well done. This has that feel of a war film, trying to recreate those moments, and does so really well, and tells a story that is very, very interesting. The cast includes Chris Hemsworth, Shannon, and Michael Peña as members of this team, which is sent into in bed with a faction of the Northern Alliance, who are also against the Taliban. And their mission essentially is to gain the trust of this tribal leader, played by Navid Negahban, who plays General Dostum. And they are together to make their way to a series of Taliban encampments and get close enough so this strike team can call in Air Force strikes from the air, giving the Northern Alliance the advantage they need to make an advance on the principal city of the region and delivering a vital blow against the Taliban. Now, like with any story that has 12 men, the film essentially focuses on just a handful of them, namely those played by our leads. Chris Hemsworth plays Captain Mitch Nelson, who is the leader of the team despite not having any actual combat experience, unlike a number of his men. But his men do trust him and want him to lead this mission. His lack of experience, however, puts him at a disadvantage in his dealings with Dostum, who sees him as someone who doesn't have killer eyes, as he puts it. And a lot of the film, and what really makes this movie work and the story engaging, is it's less about the actual fights, although those play pivotal points in this story, but it's more about these American soldiers being dropped into a land they truly do not understand, and having to deal with a people and a culture that they really don't understand, and how these two sides ultimately find a kinship and an understanding of each other through the crucible of war. How Mitch reacts to these early battles and how his men react to him elevates him in Dostum's eyes, and seeing how Dostum's fighters follow him, and there's, like I said, there's this kinship, and it really humanizes this story, so it's not just a series of battles. Now, it would have been nice to get a better look at some of these other soldiers. My understanding is that the book really does give all 12 of them their due. That's not the case in this film. But for a January film, this is an amazingly good movie. As I've said in some of my other videos, this was a pretty solid January, as Januaries go. But even taking the January out of the equation, this is a solid war film that tells a very interesting story that I believe most people are unfamiliar with. So if you're looking for a film that's more about the men on the ground and less about the politics around the war on terror, this is definitely one to check out. It's very well made. The action sequences are great. The performances are very strong, and is a very solid movie all around. Now, if you've seen 12 Strong, what did you think about it? As always, you can subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other reviews, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.